Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're working on the 1932 Aston Martin LM8 CycleKart, and we're going to be revising this cowl. From the very beginning of this project I haven't been happy with the shape. I've got an idea how to fix it, so let's get started. Okay, so I used the original piece as a template on the new piece. The new piece is 50 thousandths thick, 3003 or 3003, whatever you want to call it. It's a little more malleable grade of aluminum that I like to use for anything that has to have a curve in it or any kind of shape. This piece was 40 thousandths thick, 3003, and it's just a little too soft. It was deforming around some of the screws, and just I think it would save a lot of weight if you did it on the flat panel stuff, but anything that needs to be curved or has any shape, it's a little bit delicate, and I thought I'd give it a try, and I'm just not happy with the results. So, and it's certainly we're going to change this shape. So I did mark it off on here as a template, and I'll cut it down to size now using my Harbor Freight shear. I'll show you that tool. If you're cutting aluminum, this tool is really pretty good. It's here's the box. I've had this now since the first time I started cutting aluminum, so about 5 years. And it's done all my cutting of all my aluminum projects. It's done pretty well. So Harbor Freight does have some good stuff. Okay, so I've marked where the radius is going to go on this panel, and marked the top and the bottom. So the top is this side. So I'm marking the top of it because as I go through the machine, it's going to curve this direction. And this side will curve that direction. And I should recreate the side panels that this curve already has. And once that's done, then I'll stretch this area here to create the cowl effect I'm looking for. So I've got my Harbor Freight English wheel, and I've got this rubber band that we're going to put on the wheel. And what this is, it prevents the tool from stretching. You can just curve it in two directions instead of in three and creating a crown. So this band is, I got this from Eastwood. They just call it a rubber band, I think. It's on the website, I believe. And it wasn't terribly expensive, like $7 or $8, maybe $10, whatever. It's free. Oh, a little hard to get on here sometimes. This Harbor Freight English wheel does work. I mean, it's cheap. It's not as good as a bigger, heavier English wheel. So it takes a little more time to wheel something. But it does work. There's some guys who've sold or they market some kits to improve it. I think the weakness in this is it just has flex in it, and so for aluminum it's not that big a deal. If you're doing steel panels, it might be more of a problem. And plus this thing right here wiggles back and forth. You always gotta, you never know for sure if you got it aligned. And actually I need to check my curve. I might need to put a different wheel on there. Let's see. So I've showed you this before. This is to help you find the radius. So I'm going to put that on the car and see what radius is most closely to. All right, so it's kind of in between a 4-inch and a 3-inch. So right now the 3-inch is on the tool. Yeah, so I'll just use that. Break it up. I use this to tighten this so it doesn't twist around so much. There we go. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I used a hyperlapse on the video that really just took about 10 minutes to shape that. So it's already done. I can't quite fit it to the car yet because I still have to raise this crown up, and I'll show you what I'm talking about on that in just a second. Okay, so on the car here, I've got this metal frame behind the dash, So I want this thing to come up. I might have to cut this off and just use the wood dash as the form. Not 100% sure yet. But I got to get this to raise up onto here, to go from flat down here to raise. So that'll be the challenge. So let's see how she goes. Alright, so I've been hammering on this for a while, running through the English wheel a couple times. I'm getting a little cracking where this is getting thin. So I'm stretching this so much that this metal's starting to crack there. So I'm going to continue hammering on it and see how far I go. See if it splits too far, this may be a wasted exercise. But it's part of learning and part of building things, so let's see how it goes. Let's keep on hammering. Yeah, see how much more split that is now? So, I don't know, maybe we'll have the body pull it out or something. We're getting to the point where we're almost raised up enough. Still have I still got more to go if you look at where it sits here. It's almost there, but not quite. This has to come down. Yeah, I'm getting frustrated with this thing. It's really a lot of work for, I don't know. Let me run through the English wheel and smooth that up a little bit. Maybe make it a little prettier. So in the English wheel, if I were to run it through here, it would crown this way. If I turn it upside down, it's going to crown that way, which is what I want, because I want this to turn that way, right? So we're going to run it upside down, basically, the wheel. I'm going to turn it with circles. It's amazing how much that smooths it out so quickly. Still got some hammer marks in it, but I'm trying to get the rough shape right now. I don't know. What do you think? You liking it, Stevie? Come forward like that.
I think it looks better than the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, let me wheel this some more, because I got that brought our shape up.
Oh yeah, okay.
I was wheeling it, so maybe more work on the wheel. I need to, let's see. I gotta work that down. Smooth this transition off where those hammer marks are at. Cross wheel it a little bit. is a little prettier, doesn't it?
Oh, wow.
That's looking a lot better.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need to work on the wheeling it.
I like that.
Let's see where we are here. I gotta bring this down over here. Forward a little bit. Does that profile look better?
Yeah.
Think of that.
Yeah.
More
Looks
of a-
good.
Well, this is cracking, but you know what? It's not a big deal. We're going to trim off some of that anyway. Because how close that is to the steering wheel. All right. So I think I'm just going to wheel this and try to get more shape out of the wheeling of it. To bring it down here, getting close in this direction. I think I need to widen this up a little bit because it needs to be catching in here. Just bring it down flush with the dash and call it a day. So this is gonna look goofy right here. What I could do, yeah. My idea was I was gonna put a 1/4-inch rod in here and turn it. Sort of nice finish edge. But I have to bring this forward about a 1/2 inch like that. About like that. Let's see how far off we are now. We gotta bring that down this way. Alright, we're gonna figure this out. Okay, so I've been hammering on this thing and running through the English wheel, and I'm really struggling. This crack is getting bigger and bigger. I'm afraid it's going to split all the way down. I'm still a far ways from getting it to fit properly. See the big gap it has over here? This side's not too far off, but that side's way off. And the biggest problem is I'm not happy with the profile. I was expecting more of a swoop, which I'm not getting. It's a little too flat. So this was my 3rd attempt. I think we're going to have to do a 4th attempt. So what I think I've decided to do, and I think it's going to be workable. I'm going to put this cowl back on just temporarily, and I'll make a new piece of this. I've already showed you how this is made like twice now, so I don't think I need to show you that again. So I'll make another one that's got less holes in it. But I took this Aston Martin Lego box. It's an Aston Martin after all. And making a template here. So I think if I just make something a little smaller than what we had before, I think that's going to look better. So let me show you what the other one looked like in comparison. So that's how massive that was previously. I just never been happy with the shape. I thought it was just too big and too bulky for the style of the car. And this little windscreen, I feel is going to be better. So I'm gonna refine this template and then use it to cut a piece of aluminum. And then I'll bend a little edge on it, just like I did on here. And just turn this edge over so you have something to rivet down. Anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to refine this template and do that, and see what we come up with. So trial and error, this sort of thing is what you expect when you're building something from scratch. So moving on. Okay guys, so building this cowl has been a real struggle for me. I've laid these out. The first attempt is over here on this side, the second attempt, and the third attempt, which I've decided was a failure. I'm not real happy with the shape. So you can see it's kind of gone from this big giant big giant piece, a little smaller yet, but really struggling to get this to fit right. I think it's because, well, number one, this is cracking, and I think that crack is just going to continue to spread the more I stretch it. And if it splits out too much, I'm not going to body fill a little bit of that, but I've still got to bring up a lot of material here to get this part to go down. So I decided that just wasn't looking right. And besides, the shape of it just wasn't quite what I wanted. So I moved on to some templates that I made with some cardboard, and then I made this first piece, but then it came a little too short here. And then I got this new piece I just put on here. I think that's going to be better. It's not going to be quite that tall. I'm still going to cut it down a little bit. You see how tall it is here. I might even turn a piece of 1/8 inch wire rod into here and bend the metal around it to give it strength. But I think as I trim this up and match it all up, it's going to look a lot better. So the profile, I'm liking that profile a little bit better. It's not quite as massive as it was previously. And once I cut it down to maybe 1 inch or so, it's going to look a little bit better. So I think I'm going to call that the end of this video. This has just been an exercise in frustration, just trying to get this detail right. And I think I got a little hung up on trying to make it look exactly like the inspiration car. It's okay for things not to be exactly the same. Again, it's an inspiration car. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this isn't riveted down here. This is just sitting on here loose right now. But that looks pretty good. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. So I'll get that fully installed and move on to the next bit. Hey guys, thanks again for watching our channel, and like, subscribe, all that jazz. Find us on Facebook at CycleKarts North America and on the Arizona CycleKart Club page on Facebook. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Get out there and build something cool. See you next time.